AI, it will take time. It's artificial intelligence that is being fed by humans.
And that is where artificial intelligence plays a pivotal role.
And before that robot will learn that this is what I want, would have to repeatedly tell that robot, when this guy is coming down, you should fall.
Hey, what is the use of drama? You are working, I'm working. So when it's weekend, you can't leave me in the house.
Why say this one has no balance? Something where they want to.
If I want to have sex with you, I tell you are so beautiful. Can we have sex once or twice and then it's okay?
Somebody tell me this so far. Fifth Dimension, one of the best albums recorded within the time.
So you're looking sexy. I was like, oh baby, today I'm looking sexy. That's nice.
Bro.
Man, you just shaking this tea like that.
Oh, it's perfect.
But you go plenty drinks here.
No, I prefer coke. No.
Let me take all my glass.
I'm being patriotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to support businesses owned and run by Ghanaians. Yes, and we have other brands as well which are owned by Ghanaians. But then my favorite.
Probably be taking out Coca-Cola. Okay.
Coca-Cola. No. Coca-Cola, because today's topic is quite intricate and it's very delicate. So we need to address the state of our SMEs and our startups. So for some years now, SMEs has been the backbone of economies. If you look at a country like Rwanda, where the president, Paul Kagame, heavily invested in startups because he understood that they contributed to almost 70% of the GDP of the country. And a country like Ghana, although we don't see such enthusiasm from leadership to support and help scale up startup businesses, the startup business ecosystem provides approximately not maybe less than 40% of our GDP, ranging from all sectors: agriculture, technology, trade and industry, production, manufacturing. We contribute enormously because I'm also a startupper. So, no, let me take off my glasses because I think it has gotten to the point where we need to address this situation with so much vigor, so much desperation for government to understand that it is high time government and well-known, acclaimed, successful people to uphold startups, SMEs, and small-scale medium enterprises so they can equally match or get to the level where the multinationals would want to partner or trade with them. Because in the business ecosystem, there is a stereotypical approach when you're a startup. They see you as unprepared, less resourced, not experienced.
Well, I think with that. Sorry, finish your.
Sure. And lastly, they see you as you are just desperate to create an impression in the ecosystem, but not somebody who they would want to work or affiliate with. So please, you can go ahead.
But I think that is because of I wouldn't say approach to business, but how business is. Business is backstage someone was talking about marriage, marriage being a lifelong choice. When you go, you don't come back and everything. It's the same with business.
Yes.
So if an investor, probably government, is looking at putting money into a venture, somebody who is ready to deliver whatever is in their proposal.
That is
They're getting funding for whichever project you want. You probably get it easily if you stand out. You know, because I'm not sure
there's
any
a question
government-
mark there.
Yeah.
But when you're done, I would
What's the
address.
question mark?
Oh no, I want you to finish.
Oh yeah. I'll talk plenty. So what's the
No,
question
but
mark?
it's okay. You see, when you talk about startup,
Yes, sir.
the definition alone for startup
Yeah.
is to establish something, to implement, to make happen. That doesn't come along with financial complement or financial endowments. You would have to make that happen. And in the journey or on the course of making that happen, that is where you would pitch your ideas to angel investors, or people who you think potentially can come on board to help you actualize your dream. Now, the reason why I say there is a question mark is, you see, when you are always interested in peculiarity, you would always miss out on the big picture. Why do I say so? When you look at the business ecosystem, you don't necessarily have to do something beyond overboard. You don't always have to be peculiar. You would always need that slight change from what somebody else is doing to make you stand out. Now, let me say clear examples, and they are numerous. For instance, let's look at our telcos. Now, we have many telcos, about 4 or 5 telcos in Ghana. We have MTN, we have Vodafone, we have Airtel Tigo, we have Glo, we have Cepline, and the rest, others who dropped along the way. Now, what is so different or unique about them? Nothing. But there is something. They are customer centered. The differences: one is customer centered, one is brand oriented, and one is ready to meet at every point. Now, customer centered. When you look at the MTN telco setup, they're always concerned about creating that comfort for their customer. They're always thinking about the customer. So they always be like, everywhere you go, even though it's not everywhere you go. When you look at Vodafone, they're brand oriented. Vodafone is always interested in creating that impression for customers to know that, no, we are always with you. We are ready to go and travel the mile with you. We don't only want to provide what you need, but we want you to come on board, tell us what you need. So they are curbing the whole brand gap between the customer and the service provider.
So being peculiar is very important in business, right?
It is
You
not.
would agree with me?
It is
Really?
not, because when you look at their offer structures, they're all offering the same services. Unless you tell me there was a day where MTN woke up to distribute food to its customers. But they all run the same promos at different ranges. But they all offer promos, discounts.
Because reason why I just said being peculiar is important is you'd have to be peculiar in to a demand on your market, unique demand on your market. You know, to serve that market, there you become unique. When you really want to focus on the market, you have to get a demand that nobody's serving. Nobody is like basically an expert in. The telcos are a good example because they all have a target market, same target market.
Yes.
But the clients choose the different telcos because of how unique their services are to them. Somebody would want to use Vodafone because of Vodafone's data plan and how cheap it is, how reliable it is compared to MTN. Somebody wants to use MTN because of how I like using MTN because everybody in my family has MTN. So why should I use Vodafone to get other? But I think we are talking about startups, not the big conglomerates in business. Startups, basically, or SMEs, well, there's a difference, but startups, it's an idea. That's what I'm trying to say. Startups are ideas. So, scaling a startup, it takes time.
Yes.
It doesn't take time if the team behind that startup has experience. There are lots of businesses in Accra that start and the same year is a hit. Because sponsors or angel investors believe the people behind the idea. It's a business. Let's not get it wrong. A startup is a business. As far as that idea is registered and an operation starts, it turns to a business.
Yes.
Whether you are making $1 a day, a CD a day, or some few CDs a day, it's still a business, So, not thinking about the conglomerate. I think startups, we need to be really, really, really careful with the difference, the startup and SMEs. Talking about SMEs like this, SMEs, they are businesses that are categorized as SMEs because of their turnovers, probably the number of staff
Employees
they have. Yes.
And then,
and they're categorized there. But they are banking in cash.
yes.
Similar to what's happening everywhere else. They are banking in very, 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 or very good money.
Yes.
You see, and
But,
say in Ghana like this, I remember there was a time I read a report by the Ministry of Trade and Industries. 85% of businesses are categorized as SMEs.
Yes.
Yes. So it means you probably need to be careful about the categorization.
And that is where the problem would trigger. So you see, we see the telcos to be multinationals because they have wings, they have branches in other various countries.
Yes.
And when
it wasn't founded here, right?
Yes, it wasn't.
Which telco was founded in Ghana?
None. Yes. So
so they are not new. So the experience before
getting into the region. And so you see, one thing about the startup terrain, because I myself, I am a startupper, like I've been saying since we started, and there are some realities behind every startupper's journey, which most angel investors are either not looking at or might be less interested in understanding.
Really?
Yes, because you see, when you mentioned registration and maybe bookkeeping or keeping your records clean and everything, right there, I personally felt, are you a startupper? Sorry to ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a startupper. I'm probably an entrepreneur.
You're an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. So startups, it was back in the days, and it's so fun. Start ideas. Whoever is listening, start ideas. If you have an idea, start it. I advise people on how to start their business.
Good.
And it's so fun to see how people can transform their lives with ideas.
Good.
So you have an idea, you don't need to say, I can say this before we even continue. You have an idea, you don't need anybody to come and tell you how to start it. You just sit down, see what labor needs to go into getting that idea to life. Then you play a part in that labor list. Whatever you know how to do in there. Say you are starting a new production. What can you do as a worker in that startup? Can you clean well? Start with the cleaning. Can you do what's that thing's name? Marketing well. You be the head of sales. Don't be the CEO instantly. Or you have to be the CEO because you need to drive in whatever you need to drive in. You understand?
Sure.
So, I think starting.
On that note, then I would like our viewers to also start paying attention to this conversation from the angle where both of us are both startuppers. We are entrepreneurs, and we understand the ecosystem. Now, let me come straight to this. Now, when I was saying that angel investors sometimes don't understand what we go through and why some of us lack funding or lack support, and it is not any fault of ours. If you're a startup and your idea is in the ideation stage, don't give up. Don't think whatever you want to do is obsolete or irrelevant. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is in the ideation stage, that is where you get to understand that you need more than money to run. Because I personally know a lot of entrepreneurs who have received a lot of money to scale up their businesses and they sank. I know a lot of them because I've partaken in national pitching straight from the presidency, from companies, angel investors. I've competed in various competitions. And even with my ideas, some 5-6 years ago, people made mockery of my ideas. And you know what I said to myself? It wasn't meant for this generation. My ideas were meant for the next generation. And lo and behold, indeed, most of my ideas are manifesting as ideas that are feasible for the next generation. So if you're out there and you have any idea, yet you can see yourself as not getting funding, so you quickly insult yourself and say, oh no, I'm a stupid person, sorry, no, I don't come up with creative ideas. You are wrong. Keep that very idea, work on developing it so well that it would suit the next generation. Now, previously, during the Abraham Lincoln era and then the Christopher Columbus era, it was bone marrow holes. Now, when they got to the John D. Rockefeller eras, it got to machineries, equipment. Now, when it got to Steve Jobs, it got to the IT digitization era. Now, when it got to the richest man,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, it got to information blended with technology. And I can tell you on authority, if you're a startup, the next era we are getting into is marketing and communication. Because artificial intelligence is so much occupying the manpower or the labor space that even it will get to a point where whatever we are doing now, we wouldn't need our presence. We will need an AI robot engineered to understand our pattern of conversation. So very soon they would be operating in our interviews, in our journalism aspects, and because when you look at automobile, it is occupied by automobiles. Our delivery, Alibaba is heavily doing its deliveries with automobile. We have drones doing deliveries for us very soon. But one thing they can't do is communication, marketing, because the AI wouldn't market to an AI, to a human being. And there will be an interpersonal relationship between two people. I have that relationship with you. An AI can't call me and feel that passionate reaction. It can't give me that nostalgia you would give me when you are talking to me about a brand. Because obviously you've tried, tasted, felt that brand. So when you are selling to me, I know that, no. My brother knows what he's talking about. Like the way I can easily tell you, Pokeke is.
I think with AI, I agree with you with like the discussion we had. There was a lot I wanted to say earlier.
Okay.
But we're talking about AI right now. AI, I think it will take time for AI to catch up. Myself, that's what I think.
Okay, so it would be perspective based. So I would want you to maybe be more
Elaborate it.
specific on
Yeah,
areas
elaborate.
where you think it would take time to
I
catch
will.
up?
I will be happy to.
Sure.
AI basically is artificial intelligence. Literally, artificial intelligence. It's learning. You know, it's being fed by what we know right now. But AI is not emotional yet.
That
I
is
know
that is where the
emotion-
marketing comes in,
Well,
and that's where
one thing.
communication comes in.
You need humans to put emotion in something that's not human.
Can I surprise you?
So you basically will need humans to run it for some few years.
Can I surprise you? Now,
Surprise me, yeah.
yes, let me
Surprise
surprise you.
me.
So now there was this documentary which I chanced upon and watched. Now you see, previously we always thought AIs or artificial intelligences needs how do you call it our inputs to generate their outcome. Now let me surprise you. The algorithms for artificial intelligence are self-generative, just like the computer does generate a whole lot for us by keying into the system's request. So maybe I am yet to understand the pattern at which AI is limited. But let me tell you, when you take out the emotional being or the traits of our emotions and our communicative patterns, AI is unlimited. And when Elon Musk unearthed the potential of AI, people doubted it. But now they can clearly see that the man truly understood what AI could do before creating a selfless driving vehicles, producing a smartphone that would do more than what
But you know, Elon's ideas with AI,
yes.
Elon is a big championer of humans should run AI, not AI run humans.
That is
You know?
that is the business front. So what I'm saying here is, so for instance, you have the cup of pokeke here, and you are sipping pokeke. The fact that you have pokeke and you can gulp it at your beck and call doesn't change the fact that when you sip pokeke more than you should, it will get you tipsy.
They will.
Yes. The fact that Elon Musk understands artificial intelligence. I also watched an interview where he clearly and boldly said that he underestimated what artificial intelligence was capable of. And if we are not careful, artificial intelligence can overtake humanity. And when he said that, I took it into perspective because he's an astronaut who thought so well about how space world could be, and he has worked towards attaining that feat.
You know, Elon is an entrepreneur, a
Yes.
very good one, we can say.
Yes.
Because he started young. I mean, PayPal at that young age.
Yeah, oh yes.
Probably not an astronaut like we think.
But he is. He's a certified astronaut now.
Well, that's easy to get. Cause
He was an
if
engineer
You are flying
and-
rockets. If you are flying rockets to
Yes,
space,
yes. The man designed
else
his
do you
rocket.
need
He designed his
to be
rocket.
approved
He
on?
engineered most of the patterns of his rockets.
OG probably has his own training base somewhere in Texas, training people to be
exactly,
astronauts. So
yes.
how about him? But what I'm trying to say is, I talked to CEO of Heritage Lab, Derry, last time. AI. That's why I'm also saying AI. It will take time. It's artificial intelligence that is being fed by humans.
No.
It's coding. AI
No.
is not like a physical thing
No.
you hold it.
No.
It's a soft
No.
where you code
No.
and implement
No.
or you put it
No.
in anything
No.
you want to put.
No, my brother.
No,
I want our viewers.
Nobody from anywhere in the world is
Uh-huh.
putting idea into AI. The best example I can give you with what AI is all about.
So let me
is
let
ChatGPT.
so let me make let's not go to chat GTP and all those things, but let me make our viewers understand this. Now, AI is like a seed you put into the ground. You don't orchestrate germination.
no. Sorry,
By
I'm sorry, I was
germination-
just smacked.
Germination would occur. You would water germination. But at a point, if you don't water germination, nature
I'm sure-
would aid trees to grow. Now,
I'm sure you've seen videos of robots answering questions.
No, I'm not talking about-
No. I'm sure you've seen videos of humanoid robots answering questions.
I don't want to talk
Even
about
the
robots.
computer. No. It's AI we are talking about.
Okay.
Even the computer, you need
Yes.
to input A for the screen to give you A. You understand?
That is where I
That's
want
what's
us to
happening
get.
right now.
That
We
is-
want the computer to be independent. That's why AI was coded. That's why when you go
No,
to
we didn't want.
no.
We didn't only want to. We needed the
don't
computer to be. We needed the computer because
we
okay,
just
so
need machinery
how-
to function without our aid.
Why?
That's why.
Why did it get to the point where we needed them to function without our aids? Because
humans want peace of mind. Me, I day here.
Not
I want
no,
a
no,
robot
no,
to come and give
no,
me drink.
not peace of
or the
mind.
pokeke when I want.
yes, not
You
just
know, I
peace
don't
of
want to
mind.
say I want pokeke. I want that computer to see that my cap is going down and I need a pokeke.
and
That's
and-
artificial intelligence working.
and that is where artificial intelligence plays a
Yes.
pivotal role.
And before that robot will learn that this is what I want, would have to repeatedly tell that robot when this guy is coming down, you should pour. You know? And that robot,
Is it
if you
repeatedly
code
or
it-
you have to
Yeah,
you have to
repeat it.
initiate?
That robot has to work with, say, if we are surveying, say, 100 human beings, to know that this human being with this face expression, don't give him the pokeke again. You understand? Mercedes has softwares in all their new cars coming up now,
Okay.
where you can sit in the car and the car doesn't drive because you are drunk. How does it work? You have
Elon
breath
Musk has
test-
similar thing.
you have breath testers in the car,
Good.
knowing that you are blowing too much fuse.
Good.
What I'm saying with AI is, it's installed in machines to learn human behaviors and then serve humans after
So
the
that
right
is-
way.
So that is where my emphasis is. To learn. The emphasis, the key word here is to learn. You and I both know that no matter how we were taught back in school, we've learned more than we were taught back in school. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, agree.
Yes. So once we've been taught, yet we had the capability to learn beyond. That is what AI is. And this is why Elon Musk cautioned humanity about AI. You would learn and learn more than you've been taught.
I don't think Elon was questioning humanity. He was basically specifying what AI can do if we don't monitor it well.
And that is a caution.
Really?
Yes, that is a caution, because if I can tell you that be careful of the consumption of pokeke, they come in words, but they are caution. And he cautioned humanity. And the man was very dread on his statement. So what I am saying here is, let's switch back to startup and let's give AI a breath for now. Now, we need people, we need angel investors who understands beyond their money. Because archaeologists, scientists, they require huge sum of money to make discoveries, to unearth things that has been covered, not hidden, covered. So they do the uncovering. That is where the discovery pattern comes in. A scientist can take almost 30 years to discover that a dinosaur tail was buried under this part, on this part of the earth, in this continent or country. It is about time our angel investors saw startups as discoverers. Because one, we are discovering a lot of things. We are discovering the ecosystem, the terrain, whether it is feasible for us to implement our ideas. We are discovering our market, whether the market is ready to accept and embrace our concept. We are discovering our scalability, whether the system would create the enabling environment for us to do what? To flourish. So when we have investors who understands that no, when this thing is in the ideation stage, all I need to do is understand and have that little faith in whoever bears this idea. For instance, you have an idea. We are sitting here having a good conversation. Whichever platform it might be aired on. Now, Zuckerberg caught the idea. And from the stories we've read, the bunch of his friends didn't even give him that audience. He understood what he wanted. He did the right thing. Now, the story about these great and successful people which media doesn't let us know and create so much pressure and burden for us is that Zuckerberg's parents were doctors earning good money. So they were giving their son money to build up his idea. But they won't tell you this. They'll just tell you, oh, Zuckerberg built whatever in what? Is it Apple? Steve Jobs in the garage? Right? Steve Jobs in the garage. And Zuckerberg in where? In his hostel in uni. And then he quit uni. Those things are incomplete information. So you see, we need angel investors. We need people who believe in us.
Well, I think that's true. It's very true that every business needs an investor.
Yes.
But let's not look at it from one side of how do you end that sentence? But let's not look at it from one side. Before somebody decides to start a business, you should be ready.
When you say ready, please elaborate your ready.
Yeah, that's why you have a business plan. You should be ready for everything on that paper.
My brother, can I tell you something?
Money-wise, action-wise,
can I tell you
whatever
something?
comes into running the business, I'll tell you, whatever comes into running the business, you should be ready. The guy who doesn't have money is the guy who goes to the investor. You understand?
So
the guy who doesn't have money.
So a
That's
quick one.
true.
A quick one. I'm not breaking
You
you.
go to an investor only to get funding. And you go
Not
to
just
an angel-
funding.
You go to an angel investor to get funding and mentorship. Basically,
Good.
or on probably resources on what. Or an angel investor is somebody who knows that industry.
Good.
That's why they're called angel
Good.
investors.
Good.
You understand? So
Good.
before, that's what I'm saying. Let's not look it from one side, from the guy who doesn't have money side. When we are talking about startups, I know there are millionaires who even start businesses.
Good.
You understand?
Good.
They are the startup and they are the investor. They only listen and say, no, what are these guys talking about? Going for an investor. You know, when you are starting a business, you should be ready for whatever comes in.
But
And
I
when
want you to-
want
I
an
want you to-
investor to.
I want you to
want
break down
you'd
your
want
ready.
You'd want to, Chief, you should be ready. If you want to even
How
sell
ready?
keke on the roadside, you should
How
know you need
ready?
a basket. You should
How
know
ready?
You need to wear a uniform. How ready? Ready as hell as running a girl on the roadside. You know you should look good before you can get a girl's attention.
You don't always need to look good.
Well,
Yes, that
I
is
don't
where
know.
we have to sieve our understanding, because you see our understanding to startups are in grades and patterns. You see, you don't need to be ready. You need to understand the environment. You need to know what you are presenting, and you have to have the attitude. For me, the most important thing when it comes to startupping is the attitude towards your idea. Let me tell you. Let me give you a classical example. So I don't know if you've heard about this. There's a pitching platform. The
Impact Hub.
sorry.
At the Impact Hub.
Another Impact Hub in Ghana, but we have the Sharks. And then the Dragons. Is it the Dragons Den in the US and the UK? Now, although they want to finance startups, they look at your attitude, because attitude is everything. You can know somebody who has an idea, but the person just has the idea. And you can see somebody who has an idea and has the attitude for the idea. So you see, with such person, you know, with startups, there would always be these ups and downs for you. Your attitude is what keeps you at the equilibrium.
Let's not beat about the bush, eh? See, when you are going to business, attitude is right, but it's not just attitude on the table, in the bar, meeting the investor. It's your attitude towards the work you are proposing to me.
That is what I've been saying.
It's the attitude towards work.
That is the attitude I was talking about. No. And that is wwhy I said the attitude with the idea. I wasn't even talking about meeting an investor.
Because when
I was talking about the idea.
Because see, when you're getting into business, you are not selling. Well, let me go with that sentence. You are selling to human beings. So you need to be ready to accept whatever humans will be saying. You understand? You really need to be. Well, I wouldn't say ready because there's another word coming up again.
Okay,
but
so
you need to be.
Is it? Do you want to use the word available?
No. I'll probably come up later. But you really need to be ready for the market.
Now.
Before you even get into it, know what you are getting into. You don't just have an idea. Chief, I have millions of ideas right now. I can give you 2. You understand? But you really know, can I start this like you did with your business? You realize it's not for that generation. It's for the next generation.
Yes.
So you went back, polished it, and probably started it for the next generation.
Oh, to be honest with you, I didn't polish it.
You know?
I did not, to be honest, I didn't polish my idea. What I did to the idea is I understood what the idea meant and what it represented. So quickly, I started doing what I had to do, even with no resources. And then I was optimistic. Now, when I was talking about the attitude towards the idea, I was adding optimism. Sometimes you would get people who would condescend, people who would let you feel less of a person simply because you stressed on an idea or you presented an idea.
And you know you made yourself feel less. The people didn't. The people said their mind. And you don't owe them. They don't owe you shit for saying their mind.
They
don't owe you.
And they do.
They don't owe you shit for saying their mind. You decide their words getting you down. No. You are in business, Chief. You are in war. Man, you are starting a business against somebody who is already on the market.
And
here
here
we have to put in.
And here we have a community that wants to front as supporting startups. You see, it takes nothing to be kind, but it takes everything to be mean. Even if you don't have anything or you have zero confidence in my idea, I don't need you to condescend. You see, you can create constructive criticism.
You need me.
You see,
to, no.
You have constructive criticism. And you have somebody condescending.
Reason why we set up a meeting. See, let me tell you, Chief. Right now we are just being general on everything.
Good.
But business is human. Human serving another human with a product or service. That is business, Chief. And you are supposed to meet another human's
demand or needs?
Demand before they can give you what you are demanding from them.
No.
You understand?
No, I beg to differ.
You are not doing business for doing business for animals. The animal is a pet of a human.
I honestly beg to differ.
Please explain why.
Now, one thing I love to learn about business operation, and one thing we've not clearly looked at when it comes to business is when you are in business, you are the brand, not the product. And that thing needs to be echoed into the ears and minds of startups. You are the first brand of the business, not the product. For instance, now I know of Pokeke. But Pokeke is not what is selling. The owner of Pokeke is what is selling.
No.
Now you might. Oh, sorry.
Do you know the guy, Seth?
I know the man. Oh, he's a good enough man. And
let me comment. How many people know the guy? Nobody know the guy, but how many people know Pokeke?
Now let me tell you.
The guy who started Coca-Cola.
let
You don't know him.
me surprise you.
Please.
You see, when I say you are the brand, it doesn't mean then if there's the brand, then there is no you. Now, KFC. Do you know the owner of KFC? When KFC started, did Colonel Sanders start with the word KFC or the name KFC? No. There was nothing like Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was always Colonel Sanders coming to your doorstep, knocking, telling you, I made this recipe of chicken. Test it. You know, the man started at age 23. At 68 years old, that was the only point where he was able to get people to invest in KFC. Now, if you sit and tell me that KFC is KFC because of KFC, I'll just look at you and tell you, my brother.
No,
Coca-Cola.
Don't get
You mentioned Coca-Cola. Let me come back to
please
Coca-Cola.
Please do.
Now, when Coca-Cola, for your knowledge and for the public's information, Coca-Cola wasn't established by an individual, but a family. 3 brothers with the recipe. Now, let me tell you, when Coca-Cola started, the whole of the year, they only sold 1 crate, 24 bottles. If there was no attitude, Coca-Cola wouldn't be in existence. Now, KFC, if there was no attitude, KFC wouldn't be in existence.
So you know,
Pokeke, you see, you spoke about Pokeke. I can tell you, when Pokeke came into existence, 7-8 years ago, there was Pokeke. Nobody knew about Pokeke. It took this man to move around to pubs to sell Pokeke to them.
Chief, didn't.
Oh, tell me what you know.
Publicist,
Tell me what you know.
There was a survey, probably a survey or an assessment, and he did it in Accra. Before Poke came to Accra, Poke was selling Koforidra. You can go to Liberties right now and ask them. They sold in Koforidra for 5 cedis per bottle.
How did he sell in Koforidra? I want you to tell me the genesis of how he sold.
Chief, he
because
has
I know.
Sales team. OG never went to a bar and say, guy, I have a pack of. Probably told his friends who owned the bars.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He told his friends.
Man,
No,
to
he
find
told
a
his-
factory, a
no,
production line.
He told
You're
him.
not a cheap person to go to bars.
No. Pokeke didn't start.
What I wanted to say is,
He didn't start flat with the industries.
what I want to say, comparing brands and individuals leading the front of businesses is, you see all these things you said,
Yes.
they are stories.
They're
And
not-
they are
not
stories, my man. They are
They're not
stories.
They're
On
not
around
stories.
this,
No, they're
and
not
these stories.
No, about
we packaged
KFC, about
it and we
Coca-Cola,
call it-
they're
they
not
are-
stories.
What did you just say?
No, they're
Were
not
you
stories.
there? Man,
No.
they are stories.
Okay, so with
passed
Pokeke, with
on
the survey,
from the
were you
brands.
there? I can ask
I
you.
was there,
rhetorically.
man. I was there.
If you were there, then
I
was
was there. I can share the report with you after.
That would be
there.
brilliant.
I was
because
in that year.
You see, the reason why
There are stories packaged by a marketing team, and we call it branding
no.
for the brands.
No.
See, I can tell you, I have
No.
eternal graces later.
On this note, we've been discussing the scalability potential of startups or small scale businesses. You have your opinion, just like we have ours, and you can see how we are passionate about startups because we are both young and we both own businesses which are considered to be startups. Whatever you have to say about this conversation, drop it under the comment section. We are tangoing to build our economy, and we hope our leaders will give us a listening ear. So we are still on the Tango show, and it only takes two to tango.
Yo, man.